Hi, myself Dr. Harish Jain, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, DSCE. So today now we are discussing about the practical session. The name of the experiment, calorimetric estimation of copper. So in the calorimetry, first we will start with what is calorimetry. Calorimetry is a chemical analysis through the measurement of absorption of light. So with known concentration. Right. Generally, the basic principle behind this calorimetry is Beer-Lambert's law. So if you take any material, a monochromatic beam of light passing on any material, generally three processes will take place. Part of the light will absorb, part of the light will reflect, and part of the light will transmit. In this experiment, what we are taking, the absorption light we are taking for the measurement of chemical analysis. Right. So in this experiment, the Beer's law states that the intensity of the incident light decreases with increase in concentration of the solution. So whereas Lambert's law states that the intensity of the incident light decreases with increasing the thickness of the medium. So both combining Lambert's law and Beer's law, Beer-Lambert's law. Beer-Lambert's law states that the intensity of the incident light decreases, so it is inversely proportional to the concentration and thickness of the medium, thickness of the solution. So this is what about the Beer-Lambert's law. So these are basic principle behind this calorimetric experiment. Now we are moving to the procedure. So in this procedure, first we need to prepare a standard solution. We know that standard solution means whose concentration is known. So that solution we are calling it as standard solution. First what we are doing, we are taking a standard volumetric flask of capacity, so 50 ml. We are naming it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is a test solution and this one is a blank solution. So first what we have to do, so I am taking a named one volumetric flask. So to this what we are adding, 5 ml of copper sulfate we are adding. Similarly number 2, 10 ml copper sulfate, 15 ml copper sulfate, 20 ml copper sulfate, 25 ml of copper sulfate solution we are adding. And the test solution copper sulfate will be given by the teacher. So whereas blank solution we are not adding any copper sulfate solution. Then we are adding 5 ml of ammonia to each all volumetric flask. 5 ml of ammonia, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. For all the standard volumetric flask we are adding 5 ml of ammonia. Then after adding ammonia, we are adding distilled water to make up to this mark. So using distilled water, we are making up to this mark. Then we will close this lid and we will prepare a uniform solution. So now I will start the preparation of our standard solution. I will show you how to prepare this standard solution. Right? I am taking a named number 1. So which means we have to add 5 ml of copper sulfate solution. Here we have prepared a 3 burettes. So first burette, it is filled with a copper sulfate solution. And the second burette is filled with a ammonia solution, and third burette is filled with a distilled water solution. So students, all of you know that. So how to prepare this standard burette solution. So first what you have to do, take the burette, wash with the distilled water, rinse with copper sulfate solution. Then using this funnel, fill this burette with the copper sulfate solution. While filling this copper sulfate solution, you need to be very careful that air bubbles should not be there at the bottom. First point. Second point, you need to note that there meniscus is there. So lower meniscus you need to make it more. Right. So this is very important. Right. So then after similarly you have to add ammonia. First rinse the burette with water. Then add ammonia. So air bubble should not be there here. And similarly the meniscus should be noted. So while adding ammonia. Similarly water, so distilled water we are taking in a burette. So these are the 3 solutions prepared and already filled. Now, so I am taking a standard volumetric flask named 1, so which contains, we need to add 5 ml of copper sulfate solution, 5 ml of ammonia, and we have to make it up to this mark using distilled water. So now I am adding 5 ml of ammonia. So now I am adding 5 ml of copper sulfate solution. So you can see here it is 0. Now we need to add 5 ml. So from the left hand side thumb, so make it a mark here. Then now add 5 ml of copper sulfate solution. So now I am adding copper sulfate solution. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 5 ml of copper sulphate solution is transferred into named 1, so standard volumetric flask. To the same standard volumetric flask, we need to add 5 ml of ammonia. So here also same procedure. Here 0 is there, so we make it mark up to here. Then slowly add 5 ml. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ml of ammonia is added. Now you can see the color of the solution is changing. Right? Why this color is changing? So because copper sulphate so reacts with ammonia, it forms a cuprammonium sulphate complex. The complex color is blue color, so dark blue color. That's why the solution is colored blue color. So complex is forming, cuprammonium sulphate complex is forming. Now, so our aim is to, our job is to make it up to this mark using distilled water. So for this purpose, we have to add wash bottle. Use wash bottle. So then add water up to this neck of this bottle. Directly you add neck of this flask. You add water directly from the wash bottle. Now use burette to add water, because we need to have control over the water. So drop wise water we need to add. So now, so still one or two drops is required for lower meniscus. 1, 2. So now this solution is up to this mark, right? Now so what we have to do? Now we have to close this stopper and mix the solution. So why we are mixing? In order to get homogeneous solution. Now this standard solution is prepared. So number 1 is prepared. Similarly, so I am taking a standard volumetric flask number 2. Here what we have to add? So initially we added 5 ml of copper sulphate solution. In this flask we are adding 10 ml of copper sulphate solution. So now again same procedure. Follow the same procedure. Here 5 is there. So 5 plus 10, 15. So we mark it on the left hand side. So then add slowly. So now transferred 10 ml of copper sulphate solution into flask number 2. Now next what we have to add? Need to add 5 ml of ammonia. Same procedure. Here it is at 5. Right? 5 plus 5, 10. You hold it here in the left hand side like this and transfer ammonia, 5 ml of ammonia into number 2 flask. Now, so transferred 10 ml of copper sulphate solution, 5 ml of ammonia. The color is becoming dark blue color because of the formation of cuprammonium complex. Now, so next we need to make it up to this mark using distilled water. Add water directly from the wash bottle up to neck of this bottle. After adding up to neck of this flask, then we have to use burette to make it up to this mark. Slowly add dropwise water. So now, so we will make it up to this mark using distilled water. Now close this lid, make the solution uniform. So thoroughly stir the solution in order to get homogeneous solution. Now number 2 flask standard solution is prepared. Similarly, you have to prepare the solution 3, 4, 5. Means so you have added 5 ml of copper sulphate solution, 10 ml copper sulphate solution. Here we have to add so 15 ml, 20, 25 ml of copper sulphate solution. And the test solution will be given by the teacher. So in the blank solution we are not adding copper sulphate, directly we are adding, so we need to add 5 ml of ammonia and make it up to this mark using a distilled water.
Okay.
We have prepared these solutions, so 5 ml, 10 ml, 15 ml, 20 ml, 25 ml of copper sulfate solution plus ammonia plus water. Make it up to this mark. All solutions are ready. So this was the test solution. So test solution copper sulfate solution amount is given by the teacher. To this we are adding 5 ml of ammonia and make it up to that mark. Now all solution is ready. So one more solution is left. We need to prepare a blank solution. How to prepare blank solution? So we are adding 5 ml of ammonia and make it up to this mark using distilled water. So now I am transferring 5 ml of ammonia so then use wash bottle, add water up to neck of this bottle, neck of this glass, then use glue it to make it up to this mark. Now we have make it up to this mark. So using distilled water. Now close this lid, make the solution uniform. Now all solutions are ready. So now we can move to the experimental part. So this was the calorimeter instrument. So this is a calorimeter instrument. So first switch on the instrument. Then you can see percent of transmittance, optical density will be there. We are measuring absorbance of the solution, optical density of the solution. Right. Now we need to move to the OD option, optical density option. Right. Next you see calibration 61 degree there. So we are selecting the wavelength, so 620 nanometer. So we need to select a wavelength 620 nanometer using this option, set wavelength length. So using this option we need to select 620 nanometer. Why we need to select 620 nanometer? Because what we have prepared this solution, so cuprammonium complex is forming. Cuprammonium complex absorb the wavelength at 620 nanometer. Maximum absorption at 620 nanometer. So that's why we are measuring the absorbance of this given solution at 620 nanometer only. Now so these are the solution I am taking. So this is a cuvette. These are called cuvettes sample holder. Right. So these are the sample holder. First what we have to take? First we need to take a blank solution. So before that, so we need to wash it. So with the distilled water. So wash the cuvette with the distilled water. Then rinse with the respective solution. So since I am taking a blank solution, so I need to rinse with this blank solution. So rinse the 2 times we rinse the cuvette with the given solution, respective solution. So after 2 times rinsing, we need to take 75% of the cuvette. So we need to take a solution up to 75% of the cuvette. So up to, you can see here, so up to 75% of the cuvette we need to take a solution. Then so we need to wipe this cuvette. So clean the cuvette. There should not be any fingerprint on this cuvette. At the same time, there should not be any dust particle or other impurity should not be there on the surface of the cuvette. Now after wiping it, cleaning it, this cuvette we place it in the calorimeter. Now we placed it in the calorimeter. Right. So now you can see after placing it, we need to, so auto set 0. Auto 0 option is there. We need to make it 0. Means we are nullifying the absorption of the ammonia and water. So because blank solution, what we have taken blank solution does not contain copper sulfate solution. It contains only ammonia and water. Ammonia and water also shows absorption. So in order to nullify the absorption of ammonia and water, we are keeping it blank solution and we are making auto 0. So then we have nullified it. Then remove this one, remove this cuvette, keep it separately. Keep it separately. take one more cuvette, wash with the distilled water, then take the standard solution. So I am taking number 1 flask, which contains 5 ml of copper sulfate solution. Rinse this cuvette 2 times with copper sulfate solution. So after 2 times rinsing, take 75% of the solution in a cuvette. So take 75% of the solution in a cuvette. So cleanly wipe the calorimeter, this one cuvette. So thoroughly clean the cuvette. So after cleaning it, you keep it in the calorimeter. Now, so one more important point to be noted here. You can see, so mark is here. So you can see the mark is here. This mark should be matched with this mark. Means always, anytime, always when you are doing, always it should be so in the same direction. You should not change the direction of the cuvette. So all this anyway in so the direction should be in the same way. Now you can see the absorbance values. So 0.5, so 5 ml of copper sulfate solution, that is number 1, class number 1, showing 0.2261. So is the absorbance value. Now, so what we have to do? So we are moving to the. Now we are moving to the second solution. So you throw this one. You take a class number 2. So throw this solution. So wash with water. Now take number 2 flask. This time also you need to rinse this cuvette. So every time, so each and every time you need to wash with water and rinse with the solution. 2 times you rinse. So take after 2 times rinsing. Take 75% of this cuvette solution. So clean the cuvette. Be careful, there should not be any fingerprint on the cuvette. Now place it on the calorimeter, and this mark should be same direction. Is so every time you need to keep this cuvette in the same direction. So now this is the, you can see the, you can note down the absorbance value. Similarly, so to note down the absorbance value for the 15 ml copper sulfate solution, 20-25 ml of copper sulfate solution, and also test solution. Right.
Okay.
So now we got the all the values. So if you come to the next part, observation and calculation part, your tabular column is there. First column volume of copper sulfate solution, then absorbance or optical density. We got the values. Now what we can do? So we need to plot a calibration curve. So how to plot a calibration curve? So by plotting, say x-axis volume of copper sulfate solution, y-axis optical density. So then, so if you see here graph, so is 0, so x-axis volume of copper sulfate solution, and y-axis is the so optical density. So what we are doing, corresponds to 5 ml of copper sulfate solution. So what is the optical density we got? Similarly 10 ml, 15 ml, 20 ml, 25 ml. So for all 5 values, so we got a point and draw a straight line, start from the origin. So we will get a straight line. This curve is called the calibration curve, whose concentration is known. Correspond to this calibration curve, so correspond to with known concentration, we need to determine the unknown concentration of the solution. That means test to solution. Here in test solution, so we don't know the how much amount of copper sulfate solution, but we know the absorbance or optical density. That optical density 0.32 is there. On y-axis you mark it on 0.32 and correspond to this one x-axis and y-axis dial line. The line which is corresponds to this x-axis is the volume of copper sulfate solution. So means we got 20 ml of copper sulfate solution. Teacher has given 20 ml of copper sulfate solution. So that we have determined from the graph. So this is what the volume of a copper sulfate solution to determine. So this is one aim. One more aim is there. You need to determine the weight of the copper sulfate solution, given solution. There are two volume of copper sulfate solution. So we have calculated from the graph. Next, weight of the copper sulfate solution. So there is small. So calculation is there. You can see it. So molecular weight of copper sulfate solution is 249.54 gram. So whereas 2 gram of copper sulfate is dissolved in 250 cc of water in a volumetric flask. 249.54 grams of copper sulfate contains 63.5 gram of copper sulfate, whereas 2 gram of copper sulfate contains how much? So 63.5, so into 2, so divided by 249.5, 249.5, so finally you will get a 0.0592 grams of copper. So for 250 cc of copper sulfate contains 0.5092 gram of copper. For 1 cc of copper sulfate, how much? Again cross multiplication, 0.5092. So into 1 divided by 250, you will get a 2.03 into 10 power minus 3 grams of copper means 2.03 milligram of copper. So finally, so we came to know that. So the volume of copper sulfate given. For 1 cc of copper sulfate solution contains 2.03 milligrams of copper. So this value multiplied with the 20 ml. So this is the value obtained from the graph. So finally you will get the weight of copper in the given test solution. Similarly, you need to write a result which contain, so from graph, volume of copper sulfate in test solution. So that's we got 20 cm cube. So we need to write, so 20 cm cube we have to write. And similarly, the weight of copper in the given test solution, so 2.03, so into, so 15, you need to write, so into 20, you need to write. So that's what the milligrams of copper sulfate solution. So this is what the end of this experiment.